Silence in a group looks simple from the outside, but here's the thing nobody tells you. Staying quiet is rarely about having nothing to say. It's usually a survival tactic the brain learned long before the moment even began. When someone goes silent in a room full of voices, their nervous system is not resting. It's calculating. It's scanning. It's bracing. And if you've ever been that person, you know exactly what I mean. The mind becomes a crowded intersection of thoughts, while the mouth becomes a locked door. Listen carefully, because this is where the psychology gets uncomfortable. The human brain has a threat detection system wired from childhood. Some people learned early that speaking up led to embarrassment, correction, or being overshadowed. Others learned that silence kept them safe, less conflict, less judgment, fewer chances to say the wrong thing. The brain remembers that. It doesn't forget. And when it senses multiple eyes and multiple voices at once, it switches strategies. Vanish, blend, observe. Not because the person is weak, but because their mind is running a defensive protocol built through years of trial and error. Here's the surprising part. People who stay silent in groups often notice more than anyone else. Their brain shifts into an observational mode, mapping tone, micro-expressions, tension, social hierarchy, and emotional currents in the room. They're not out of the conversation. They're scanning it from the perimeter, like someone checking the structural weak points of a collapsing building. Silence becomes a tactical advantage. It gives them information. It keeps them from stepping on emotional landmines. This isn't social awkwardness. It's survival logic. This section is based on practical field survival experience rather than formal academic sources. But there's another layer: cognitive load. When multiple people speak at once, the brain has to juggle filtering voices, processing meaning, preparing responses, and monitoring your own body language. For some people, that load hits the red zone fast. It feels like trying to track 6 moving targets with one pair of eyes. Staying quiet becomes a way to keep the system from overheating. Not speaking is not shutting down, it's preventing a meltdown. And if someone is sensitive to conflict or tension, even slightly, group spaces amplify that risk. One wrong tone can tilt the entire conversation, and their brain knows it. So instead of taking the risk, they calculate. They hold back. They wait for a safer moment, a quieter pocket, in the interaction, where words won't feel like stepping into crossfire. Here's where survival biology kicks in again. The amygdala, your brain's threat radar, becomes more reactive in group settings when it detects uncertainty. More people equals more variables. More variables equals more potential danger. People who stay silent aren't being mysterious, they're minimizing exposure. They're trying to stay in the shadows until their threat radar calms enough to feel safe entering the noise. But silence isn't always fear. Sometimes it's strategy. Some people wait because they want to gather the entire picture before speaking. Some hold back because they know once they speak, it carries weight. Some stay quiet because the conversation is shallow, and they have no interest in wasting energy on small talk warfare. And some stay silent because silence is their filter. It helps them decide who deserves access to their full personality. And here's the twist. When these people finally speak, the entire room often listens, because they've been observing everything. They've sorted the useful from the nonsense. Their words land harder because they weren't thrown casually. Silence, in this sense, becomes a sharpening stone. The longer they hold it, the more precise the message becomes when it finally enters the world. So the next time you see someone silent in a group, don't assume they're shy or disconnected. Their mind may actually be doing more work than anyone else's. They're navigating emotional terrain, calculating social currents, protecting their bandwidth, and choosing their moment. And if you understand their psychology, you finally see the truth. Some people stay silent in groups, not because their voice is small, but because their awareness is loud.